Oh, yes. Just looking at the blanket policies for retaliating against citizens. Yes. Could you get me the blanket policies of all the police departments? When I document how to kidnap children using the judicial process and no one enforces the law, you might be underinsured. Now, there's what's known as the paid up policy, a life insurance policy in which no further premium is due. And then there's public policy. Oh, the aims and the goals of the laws that make it a crime to retaliate against the general welfare of the people. Pooch. Then there's that political crime. Pooh, the political office. Oh. I was an insurance man for 16 years, and the insurance commissioner, Mike, might remember me. Yes. I was appointed with, could have been 20 different insurance companies over the time that I sold insurance, and I know that when a person gets their insurance policy paid up, they feel good about it. They don't have to make any more premium payments. And considering how the family's always concerned about the cost of whatever it is they're paying for. Yes. Could you get me the paid up insurances, the life insurances of every bus employee? Pooh. Every oath, badge, and attorney that does have an insurance policy where the cash value more than covers their premium payments, because there are different types of insurance policies. There's the universal life. Yes. The variable universal life. Yes. There's the whole life. Pooh. Those that have cash values that it grows tax deferred, and their thought was, well, why don't we just put a little insurance on it today and pay up that policy, boom, so that I can have that tax deferred growth, so that my heirs can have the money. Pooh. Now you could take a loan out of the cash value and borrow it. Yes, considering the interest rates that we're having. I heard yesterday that somebody's stock went down 24%, and I thought, oh my gosh, what a buying opportunity for those that like to purchase that. Because when I looked at the numbers, I said, well, you're making 13 plus billion dollars in advertising revenue. My word! That is a lot. 2.5 billion users a month. I don't know why the street sold. I wouldn't have. When you're making that type of money in advertising revenue, you realize the importance of advertising. Yes, $13 billion. It could have been annual or it could have been monthly. I don't know the exact numbers of it. I just saw the headlines. Yes. Could be a buying opportunity for those that like to purchase. Excuse me. But when you think about advertising, yes, I have 2 Facebook profiles, and I'm not making any money from having them. I just put these videos on there, and I friend different persons. A lot of orthodoxy priests, for some reason, I like being friends with them. And then those in law enforcement, sheriffs and police officers and bail bondsmen and private investigators. Those that I can legally sue. Oh, so good to be your friend today. I didn't really like missing the bus this morning. Ooch. Why don't you get me the actual identity of every IP address that's been on either of my profiles? And I'd like to know how many have the liability of being my friend, and not that I'd want you to unfriend me. Pooch-a-chooch. But when I think about the advertising revenue of 2.5 billion monthly users, I've went through these different possible friends that I have. Yes. Seems like a lot of people are advertising different types of sex and different things like this, and I'm not attracted to that. I'm not trying to get a woman because of her being in the profession of prostitution. I'm trying to friend women that I might want to have a baby with, and what I want to do, yes, is to friend those women that have very large breasts, that already have children, that might find me attractive. Oh my gosh. Last thing I would want is have a prostitution ring using Facebook to advertise that they were available to have sex with as long as I paid them. Pooch! Now, when you think about the various police departments and sheriff's departments and those in the military, recruiters, Facebook has been a really good way of reaching out to the population about the opportunities available to them. But I'm concerned about this retaliation and how law enforcement's allowing it to happen. Did you watch that video about how to kidnap children, Pooch? I worded it like that to attract those various criminals that have been wanting to kidnap children. Yes, I think they might have been disappointed because you'd have to bribe a judge. Oh. For a lot of criminals, bribing those in office is a very difficult way to kidnap children. Usually they just take them and then they want a ransom. Pooh! But in this county, you've got to bribe somebody. Oh, oh, oh.